Hey guys, we're here in the skinning shed. I'm going to do a video here for, I can't remember who it was, but they asked if I could show them how to do a beaver, you know, rough skinned, when they, how to scrape all the meat and fat off. Now there's two different ways you can do it. I'll do each way. I got these two little beavers that I got the other day. See them right here. And I'll do the skinning on one of them, and then I'll do how we scrape them on both. So, but anyways, I can't remember who it was that asked, but I just want to say I want to tell the guys that got you know, on my video the other day out on the line, just with those CDs for lynx attractors. Now I know there was one of the fellows was Good Fly one. He had them on there. I think I got some of it from him, and then Ryan Desjardins. I'm not really sure how to pronounce his last name, but I think it's Desjardins. Both those guys got some good. Oh, and Good Fly. Love those weasel boxes. I'm making a bunch of those things. Those are pretty cool. Anyways, they got some good videos. Check them out too, those guys. Yeah. Oh, and Ryan, congrats on the Black Wolf. They're awesome, aren't they? Anyways, I'm going to do this beaver, and I am not going to be in a speed race for doing beavers. Now, I don't ever rough skin beavers unless I absolutely have to. And for me, it's not a time thing. It's strictly a weight thing. Back in Ontario, I used to you know, I had my trap line was fairly large, and I had places where I was, you know, portaging maybe 4 or 5 times in 6 or 7 miles. And you know, if I got down to the end and I had 7, 8 beavers, I wasn't doing 4 or 5 trips across the portage. So I always tried to figure, okay, if I got 3 beavers I can carry in one trip across, you know, plus the canoe. If I've got any more than 3, then, and depending on how big they are, of course, but if any more than 3, and you know, then you're taking 2 trips. So at that point, you've got 4 portages, you know, half an hour each portage. So an extra trip is going to be you know, 2 hours out of your day. So at that point, okay, well, in 2 hours I can rough skin, you know, 4 beavers in under well, way under an hour. So you know, then it was the time factor made more sense to rough skin the beavers out in the bush than it did to carry them. You know, and you know, sometimes I'd have 8, 9 beavers on a trip through there. So it just made more sense in the long run to be rough skinning them. And the reason I don't rough skin them is because I hate fleshing them after. It seems like you're skinning the darn things twice. But like I said, sometimes it's just, you got to do what you got to do. And I know a lot of guys. I mean, a buddy of mine in Aurelia used to, you know, get well over 100 beaver a year. He would rough skin every one of them in the bush. He didn't carry anything in the bush. He just rough skinned them all, and then put them in a bag, put them in the freezer, and then he'd give me a call, and I'd go over there, and I'd spend, you know, 2 days giving him a hand, and we'd do up 100 beavers in 2 days. He'd flesh them, and I'd put them on the boards, and it worked for him. But like I said, I don't really care for doing it. Although even on this trap, and I've done it a few times on this trap line, Just because, like I said, didn't want to carry him. Anyways, let's get the skin in this beaver. You see, same deal as clean skinning them. You just feet. Remember, when you're doing the front feet, go down at least an inch from the edge of the foot, because that fur all gets cut when you're stretching it. All gets cut off anyways. And why skin it if you're just going to throw it away after? Hind legs. You know, the whole first part of the beaver is the same as clean skinning it. The hind legs on the little beavers, you don't need to hammer them like I do with the big ones, because they break off pretty easy anyways. I'm only going to video rough skinning the first one, because it's exactly the same. And but I'll show you the two different ways of fleshing them. Gut hook knife works great. Cut around the vent. Make sure you don't poke the casters. Now here's where it just gets a little bit different from the clean skinning. So you're just pulling this off. And for the most part, until you get around the shoulders and the back legs, you can just yank it right off. And the tail is going to be a tricky spot too. And the thing with rough skinning, you're not kidding, you are rough skinning. You want to leave as much meat and fat on the hide as you can, because it makes it easier to flesh after with the more that's on there. You just don't want to rip the gut sac open. That just makes a mess. Now, normally what I would do, once I get the tail long, I'll show you. Now, I've watched guys on other videos do this, and they do the whole beaver in 3 minutes, which is faster than I can do it, but I can get one, if I'm doing it fast, not for videoing, I'll get it done in 5 minutes, no problem. But like I said, it's not a race, and under normal circumstances, the faster you try and do something, the more damage you're going to do to it. So just go at a comfortable pace. Now we get to where we start cutting with the knife, because you're not going to, back here, you're really not going to peel it off by hand. And always remember, whenever you're skinning anything, let the weight of the animal help you peel it off. So you just, by going like so, you got the weight of the beaver helping you pull the hide down. seeing this. Sorry, guys. So anyways, you just make sure you know where the skin is. Once you get to this back leg part done, okay. Anyways, now what I would do is, I'm not going to move the camera. I would just put it down on the ground, put my foot here, and just yank it, and you'll pull it right up to the shoulders. All you can do is step there, grab the fur, and yank. Okay. Okay, so now you're down to the ears. You get away from your good knife. Use your utility knife. And rough skinning the head compared to clean skinning is not going to save you any time, so might as well just get it fairly clean around the ears and eyes. Because doing it rough is only going to save you maybe 30 seconds of skinning time, but it'll save you a lot more in fleshing. Okay, so that's rough skinning a little beaver. Now don't forget the casters, because like I said, if you were going to sell this little beaver, these casters are probably worth as much as the pelt is right now. But the little shells are usually what I keep for making my beaver scent for the next year. Just send all the big ones away and keep these to make your own beaver scent. They work fine, and you don't get a heck of a lot for them. You know, they're worth maybe $3 an ounce, if that, maybe $2.50 an ounce. But anyways, all right, I'm going to get this other beaver skinned, and then we'll turn the camera back on for the fleshing.